Suppose you visit a grocery store in the United States today and buy bananas. In that case, they will have a blue oval sticker with the Chiquita brand plastered. Did you ever wonder about the origins of the Chiquita company? Even the most environmentally and socially aware consumers could find it challenging to connect the historical support of oppressive institutions and their fruity eating habits on the surface. In this video, we will unveil the rise and dark history behind Chiquita Brands International. It's time to delve deeper into the history of bananas, since they are currently the most popular fruit in the United States. Chiquita Brands International is a food company whose name will be associated with the Chiquita banana, a consistent market leader with a unique background and one of the world's top marketers of fresh fruits and vegetables. They also market a variety of vegetables under premium and other brands, as well as other fruits under the Chiquita, Frupac and other brands. In addition, the business has profited from the Chiquita brand in its prepared food operations, which offer fruit and vegetable juices, processed fruit and vegetables, freshly cut and ready-to-eat salads, edible oils and other goods. The corporation started significantly diversifying in the 1950s, while also working to improve its reputation. Under Eli Black, the company eventually changed its name to United Brands Company in 1970. The survival of Chiquita was at risk after incurring a $70 million loss in 1974, followed by Black's suicide and revelations of a corporate scandal in early 1975. More than 2 decades later, the Chiquita name is not only still in use, but it's also taken on a leadership role inside the business, dictating its product range and advancing it to the position of a world leader in branded foods. The Chiquita bananas you have in your kitchen have had a turbulent history. Workers of the United Fruit Company's Colombian estates staged a strike in 1928 to protest their unjust working conditions. Before this, the employees had attempted to negotiate with the business, requesting written contracts, 8-hour workdays, 6-day work weeks, and the elimination of food coupons, which were only valid at the corporate store. The employees' demands, similar to those they had sought to get unsuccessfully a decade earlier, caused a public disturbance, to which the government reacted by sending in the military. Colombia was worried that the US may step in on their behalf if they didn't address the protesters. Although the United Fruit Company had a substantial impact on the government then, it is unknown how much it influenced the Colombian government's decision to send troops. Colombia sent troops to Ciénaga, the centre of unrest, in December 1928, and General Cortés Vargas, the commander of the Colombian forces, warned the demonstrators. Vargas ordered the mob to withdraw from his stronghold in the middle of the city. However, he didn't give them much time. 5 minutes later, his soldiers started shooting at the 1,400 strikers and their families. The unknown is how many people perished in the incident that became known as the United Fruit Company Massacre. According to some sources, the death toll was as low as 40, while others claim 2,000 people perished. In his 1967 book, 100 Years of Solitude, Gabriel Garcia Marquez immortalized the tale of the strike. When Dwight D. Eisenhower took office as president in 1953, he approved Operation PB Success, despite Dean Acheson, Truman's Secretary of State, convincing the president to halt Operation PB Fortune in 1952. In addition to considering assassinating Guzman, PB Success gave US cash to bolster psychological warfare and political action, subversion, and other components of a small paramilitary war. By the time PB Success was launched, the United Fruit Company had already spent millions of dollars smearing Guzman and pressing the US government to remove him from office. The US government replaced Guatemala's president in 1954 and relentlessly ousted his rivals. To stop a banana republic from establishing communist imperialism in the area, Carlos Castillo Armas became the nation's new president. Chiquita brand executives paid the United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, also known as the AUC, around $1.7 million between 1997 and 2004 in exchange for protection in Colombia's volatile farming region. Chiquita Brands International was fined $25 million for the act in 2007. Still, it wasn't the first time they had paid out terrorist organisations for their own purposes. According to the inquiry into Chiquita Brands International, they had previously paid the National Liberation Army, or ELN, and the Communist Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, or FARC, essentially giving money to whatever organisation was in control at the time. Chiquita Brand International explained that they made contact with these organisations to safeguard the lives of their employees. Chiquita Brand's initial funding of terrorist groups like the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, or FARC, came to light after the business agreed to pay a $25 million fine for its connection with the United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, or AUC. Following the discovery of the links, the families of 6 Christian missionaries and 1 geologist who had died at the hands of terrorists sued Chiquita Brands for wrongful death. According to the lawsuit, the financial instruments and weaponry which Chiquita knowingly or with deliberate avoidance delivered to FARC substantially assisted FARC's act of terrorism. The power is currently in our hands as customers. By encouraging the diversification of the banana business and supply chain, let's end the cycle of banana giants exploiting banana workers. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel as a sacrifice to the gods of the algorithm. Thanks for watching.